Hello people, Mark from Courage Change Works. Guys, this is the second one in the language video that I want to talk about the Narcs in the Narc series. Like I said in the first one, I want to lay a good foundation on language, so when you hear people talk about all these things, you will have an idea of what's going on. Also, when you talk to other people who've potentially survived it or yourself, you can use this language to identify, and in a very subtle way. Most people won't even understand half of what's going on here because of the tactics that the Narc uses. So let's carry on with the language. Divide and conquer. That is in my eyes, the number one mission statement, the main objective. This is the goal of the Narc. If they can divide and conquer relationships, individuals, social networks, family members, they are in control. So by being in control, they divide, they conquer, they break down, they do everything in their possible, in their capabilities to do just that. They will break you down. Like I said in the other one, cognitive dissonance is one of the tactics. Denial is another one. I'm going to list a few more now. All to do with isolating you. Because once you are isolated, you are like a rabbit in headlights. You can't go anywhere. And I know what I'm talking about here. That's how I felt for years. Even my parents. It got to the point where I couldn't even visit my parents without the accusations and the language and the abuse emotionally that came as a result of me even wanting to visit my parents or my friends. How my friends was massive, and then within a very short period of time, no friends. Isolate, divide and conquer. Tactic. Be aware when you start noticing that the stuff that you used to enjoy, whether you used to go walking, hiking, cycling, camping, going to the pub, meals out, when that starts to diminish in frequency, chances are you are involved of the divide and conquer game by the narcissist. But the thing is, it's with your approval. So be aware of the frequency of these events that take place. Now, I'm taking into account at this point in time, we've got COVID and all this kind of carry on, and I don't think that will make any difference. Point I'm making here is when you realize that under normal circumstances, because I don't think COVID is a normal circumstance, it's something completely blown, completely massive. But when you start realizing that the stuff that you used to enjoy no longer takes place, divide and conquer, cognitive dissonance, denial, these are the games that are being played. There you go. Let's look at the next one, enabler. An enabler, and I'm going to read this one because this is a little bit tricky. Usually it's a partner, a spouse, a boyfriend, that kind of carry on, of the Narc that enables and even perpetuates the narcissist grandiose persona. So basically what that means is you get someone that is joining forces with a Narc. Not that the Narc needs that, trust me. But you'll always get someone who's on their side. It doesn't matter whether it's the children, which is commonly used as flying monkeys, which is something I'm going to discuss in a bit. Or it might be a good friend who's got similar characteristics, and they will kind of join forces, and then the one empowers the other in order to divide and conquer, cause dissonance, and all these kind of carry on. So when you are hearing people about being enablers, when you know, if you've identified the Narc and you see someone else support them morally, socially, emotionally, you are dealing with an enabler. Dangerous people. It's like approving of evil. That's what it's about. So be aware. Next one, forpology. You know that you've got this thing called fake leather, fake fur, all this kind of stuff. In the Narc terminology, you get a fake apology for apology. It appears to be genuine, but it is as hollow as candy floss is as far as nutrition is concerned. Okay, you will get the, I suppose so, or you get the shoulder shrug, which will come in with the body language bit. I'm going to talk to you about how to identify certain things, or just the one shoulder shrug. Certainly the eye roll will be one, and it's like, oh really, I suppose I have to say sorry, and you get the tone of voice. Then you realize there is no substance in the apology, but they will do that to tickle your ears, to make them feel like they've given an apology. And then they will use that to create dissonance in you, because they've apologized. They've said the words, I'm sorry, when everything else says, jog on, pal. I'm right, you're wrong. Crack on, move along. That's for apology. A false, hollow, empty apology. Be aware. Okay, like I said, flying monkeys. I'm going to refer you to the Wizard of Oz, where the monkeys were the pawns of the Wicked Witch of the West, and they did her dirty work on her behalf. And in the Narc's world, you will get the enablers, who are the flying monkeys. Many occasions where you will get people who will be the dirty work pawn for the narcissist. And the Narc doesn't care whether they use the children, your family members, a common friend. Man, they will use anything at their disposal to create flying monkeys in their little bag of arsenal against you. I'll give you a classic example. In my life, my children are the flying monkeys, where they will come in, and I might be in a conversation with someone, and they will just all of a sudden pop in and listen in. They will look at everything that's being said, being done, and gets reported back, so that the Narc can continually be enabled and up to date with what's going on in other people's lives. But because they fly monkeys, they've got this code of confidentiality, where they will tell the other people nothing what's going on in the Narc's house. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. So when you identify a flying monkey or enabler, you are dealing with the pawn, the puppet on the string that is being manipulated by the monkey. Ting, 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 ting. Be careful. They are everywhere. You need to open your ears, open your eyes, and certainly use your brain, and then you will identify them rapidly. So there you go. Gaslighting. This is a term that's been around for a little while, and in my understanding, I'm going to give you two understandings that I've come to experience from a gaslighting perspective. Number one is the one where the cognitive dissonance is being used to gaslight you, where you start doubting your own evidence, where it creates confusion. You ask yourself questions like, how the hell did that happen? Where did that come from? So it's all about confusion. It's all about creating manic chaos in the thinking process of the victim. And so that is one version or one explanation, definitely call it whatever you like, of gaslighting that I've experienced. The other one that I've noticed, there might be another term for it, I don't know, but this is what I've experienced. And I'm going to try and make it as simple as I possibly can. Here, let's say where my fist is where the Narc is. They might create some chaos over here with, say, a family member. So all the attention is now running here, but the Narc stays still. So the whole family, social circles, friends will now try and resolve this issue. So while all the attention is here, the Narc creates a bomb here, 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 here. Whilst you're not paying attention to what the Narc is doing, because all your attention is focused on the initial bomb that they plant and set off. So by the time that you realize what's going on here, you've been so over-absorbed with what's going on at position 1. And then as soon as you realize, well, this problem has been resolved, you realize that position 2 is going. And then you run to position 2 and try and deal with that. In the meantime, the Narc might have 20, 30, 40, 50 bombs ready for you to fight fire with. So you're constantly running around. Hence the hypervigilance, hence the insomnia, hence the chaos, hence the cognitive dissonance with the use of flying monkeys and enablers. And I often refer to someone as the orchestrator of chaos, because this is how it felt like in my life. I was firefighting things constantly. And in the eye of the storm, there is nothing. And in the meantime, the whole world is going crazy. That is my second definition of experience of what gaslighting is all about. If I'm right, let me know. If I'm wrong, also let me know. And I will happily stand corrected. But that is my understanding, Mark's understanding of gaslighting in those two kind of definitions. Then you get a golden child, which is someone that they deliberately pick out and say, this is my golden child, meaning I've got them and not you. And there's this wedge. And the golden child very, very often is an enabler and is the flying monkey. And the golden child can't do nothing wrong because they're golden child. They've been selected. So when you identify someone as a golden child, be aware it might just be a facade because they are there to trap you. Grey rock is all about boundaries and how they will try and abuse and break down your boundaries to either bring it in, giving you no flexibility, or they'll make it so easy for you to go wherever you want and all your discipline goes out. So be aware of the grey rocks where your boundaries and your morals, those moral compasses that I speak in another video, when they get violated, you're dealing with a grey rock. And finally, I want to talk about hoovering in this particular one. And the hoovering is where they suck everything up by first off, let me get this right. They first isolate the victim by support systems, and then they hoover them up according to the agenda of the Narc. So it's this divide and conquer bit, but then when you're looking at the cognitive dissonance, the enablers, the flying monkeys, golden child, all this kind of stuff, they will use them after they've separated you from your support system. They will gradually bring them back, but not to help you as maybe the original friend, but according to the agenda of the Narc. And if the person or people aren't being hoovered up in accordance with the Narc's agenda, the Narc will just let them go. Why? No supply, which is what the Narc wants. So when you see people disappear out of your life and then gradually come back, chances are they are being hoovered up. Okay, my friend, this is it for this particular video. I'm trying to keep these as short as I possibly can, but trying to explain them in as much detail as I possibly can. So be aware of some of the terminology. This is really, really important. And then once I speak about tactics later, I might make reference to some of these terminologies so you can then have an understanding of what's being said. Okay, so after all the YouTube admin, comments, bell, pickle, share, subscribe, you know exactly what to do. I really appreciate that. But for now, this is Mark from Character Change Works, and I'll speak to you soon.